The pastor the pastor and all of us were talking about which passages to read for the service. He mentioned Psalm 127, which says, "Children are a heritage from the Lord, offering a reward from him. Like arrows in the hands of warriors are children born in one's youth. Blessed is the man whose quiver is full of them." And what Warren said was that passage was really about your children as arrows. You want them sharpened so that they can go further than you did in your life. And to me, that seems like what my dad did. He gave everything to make sure those many arrows went as far as they could. He would give anything for the people that he loved and frequently did. We all had a special connection with our dad. Mine was deepened by the way we leaned on each other the year after my mom died. All the other kids were grown, graduated from college, living on their own. After the flurry of the services, as people trickled away and daily life attempted to resume, it was just me and Dad, saying goodnight, greeting each other in the morning, the silence of the loss of Mom hanging in the air. We didn't know how to function. We were both so heartbroken. But we tried and somehow managed together. Dad started cooking. He loved the crock pot, cooking whole chicken, stew beef, and spaghetti very often, and always saying after the first bite, "That's pretty good, even if I do say so myself." There was one memorable morning early when I walked into the kitchen to find him attempting to stuff a turkey in the crock pot. It didn't fit, and the leg was sticking out of the top. The leg was clutched in his left hand while his right hand held a handsaw. I looked at him. He was sawing furiously. I looked at him and said, "Dad?" He looked at me and looked up and glared and said, "Don't say anything." I didn't. He made me lunch every day, a tuna fish sandwich and a banana every day. We carved pumpkins, put up the Christmas tree, and got through all those firsts that year without Mom together. I don't want to discount the tremendous amount of support we received from friends during that time. Many of you who were in the room or watching this video, or the grief that was shared by all the Bagwell children. We all had firsts without Mom that year. We experienced them together, but while my siblings had their spouses, Dad and I had each other every day and every night. I overloaded myself with activities that first year of high school, and I always felt a pang of guilt leaving Dad on the weekends to do things with friends. I wasn't a perfect teenager, but I tried, especially that first year, to be good for him. I tried to be happy, or pretend to be for his sake, which is a practice I continued until the last time I saw him. He only ever wanted us to be happy. He was heartbroken when my mom died. We all were. He lost the person he built his life with, the person he shared 4 children with for 30 years, and she was so young and 51. All the hopes, savings, the dreams for retirement, the dreams for their time was gone. I can't speak fully for my dad. He never shared the depth of his sadness with me. But the first year after Mom was one of deep grief, bumbling around in the darkness, sometimes alone, sometimes together, with some happy moments interspersed as a lovely and needed distraction. After a year and the fog of grief lifted, he began dating. He carefully and considerately talked to me about this. He wanted to make sure Mom was honored while he navigated an uncharted territory. There was no Google to help you through things in the 90s. Dating is hard enough, especially as a widower and a father to a teenage daughter. I think he might have gone on more dates in high school than I did. I'm not sure what that says about me. In the summer of 1994, while I was on a month-long trip, he started dating a woman named Gloria. Her daughter Jennifer was Dee Dee's college roommate, and the two set them up. Gloria was and is such a sunny presence. I saw Dad light up in a way I hadn't since 1992, before Mom's cancer came back. He was excited to see her each weekend, and I no longer felt guilty leaving him to go out with friends on the weekends. In fact, I kind of got the feeling they wanted me out of the house. Dad loved to make people smile and laugh, and Gloria did both of those things easily and freely. She pulled Dad out of a deep well of melancholy. Together, they traveled to the Caribbean, California, Chicago, New York, to Europe, and more, and greeted grandchildren one by one, and one all the way to 12. They bought a beautiful house on the lake, a view Dad said was different every day. In truth, it probably was different every day, considering Gloria's daily weeding of the yard. If she ever mentions a weed party, it's not what you think. So, here we are, at the end of the life for this incredible man I was lucky enough to call my dad. His life was split down the middle by a heartbreak that put him on a different path than he ever could have expected. But even when life goes as we expect, do we really know what we're doing anyway? Just kind of run on instinct with a foundation of love and have faith. The heartbreak of my mom never really left him. He was lifted up by another incredible woman. As he watched my mom in sickness, Gloria watched him. There are two abundant similarities between my mom and Gloria: a frequent, beautiful smile and a deep love for my dad. What a gift to have two women to love like that in his life. He always said he had been so blessed, and I would say so were we, to know him, to love him, to learn from him. I only hope I can live my life, embody the lessons he taught me, be a good community member, be kind and generous, spend time with your family and play with your kids, and propel them further than you got in your life. Be playful. Anyone who knew Joe Bagwell knew that he was a kid at heart. Between whoopee cushions, breaking the car so it went to Krispy Kreme, chasing us around the yard while he was mowing, or putting a pillow over his head and chasing the grandchildren around, Joe Bagwell knew how to play. I like to think that my mom came to him Saturday night. "Okay, Joe, it's time." And he took her hand and went with her peacefully to be free of the disease that encumbered him these last few years. Now I hope that Gloria can heal and live and find happiness in a way that one can after loss. Thank you so much for being here to honor my dad, and for how you honored him in life and in death, and to be there and give nice words to the family. We're so incredibly grateful. Grateful for you and for the ability to share in celebration the life of this very special man. Thank you.